Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Asia Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 6th of June. Death toll from truck bombing in Kabul rises over 150. British police identify London attacker as Pakistani-born British man. And several parts of North India reel under severe heat wave. And now for all the details. A rocket fired off in Kabul city on Tuesday morning reportedly landed on the Indian ambassador's house in the city. Indian ambassador in Afghanistan, Manpreet Vohra, confirmed that a rocket had hit his house in Kabul, adding that there was no casualties in the incident and an investigation was underway. The house is in the heavily fortified diplomatic quarter in Kabul, which houses a number of embassies, guest houses and a Resolute Support headquarters. This comes amid extremely tight security in the capital following last week's deadly explosions and the launch of the Kabul process meeting. News just in, a heavy explosion ripped through a mosque in Afghanistan's Herat city during a funeral ceremony on Tuesday. According to the Interior Ministry, at least 7 people were killed in the explosion and 16 were wounded as a motorcycle detonated at the entrance gate of the mosque. More news from Afghanistan. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani on Tuesday revised the death toll from a truck bomb explosion in Kabul last week at over 150 at an international peace conference in Kabul. This has made it the deadliest attack in the Afghan capital since the ouster of the Taliban in 2001.
Afghan President Ashraf Ghani officially opened the Kabul process meeting on Tuesday and revised the death toll from the deadly truck bombing of May 31 at over 150. He said the attack, which took place at a highly fortified area of the capital, targeted the entire diplomatic community. Representatives of 23 countries, including the United States, India and China, are attending the meeting, which aims to build international support on ways to restore security in the conflict-torn country.
The massive blast tore through the heart of Kabul. Their unflinching sacrifice, nobody from the diplomatic community was killed.
دا لارې د کابل په زړه کې وچاودله خو زموږ د 14 پولیسو قربانۍ له برکته هیڅ بهرنی ډیپلوماټ ونه وژل شو. د چاودنې په نتیجه کې 150 تنه بېګناه افغان زامن او لوڼې شهیدانې شوې او تر 300 زیات ټپیان شول. سویو سره غوڅو او پریکړو.
The blast saw a sewage truck packed with explosives detonate near Zanbagh Square, close to a fortified area including foreign embassies and government buildings. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack, which sparked violent anti-government protests. Several protesters were killed in clashes with police, and at least a dozen people were killed when suicide bombers attacked a funeral being held for one of the dead protesters.
Meanwhile, British police on Monday identified a Pakistani origin man among the 3 attackers responsible for carrying out the brutal London Bridge terror attack. 7 people were killed and several others injured in the attack.
British police on Monday identified that one of the 3 attackers in the London terror attack was a Pakistan-born British citizen. London's Metropolitan Police said that the attacker, who was identified as 27-year-old Khurram Shehzad Butt, was previously known to police and domestic spy agency MI5 and was a British citizen born in Pakistan. Police said that there was no intelligence to suggest that the attack was being planned and the investigation had been prioritized accordingly. On Saturday, the 3 attackers drove a vehicle into pedestrians on the London Bridge and then stabbed people in Borough Market, killing at least 7 persons and injuring several others. All 3 attackers were shot dead by the police, who made at least a dozen arrests in East London on Sunday and carried out further raids on Monday morning.
Moving on, hundreds of devotees are currently attending a 3-day spiritual teaching by Tibetan spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, in India's northern Dharamshala town. Over 500 college students from across the globe are attending the session.
Tibetan spiritual leader the Dalai Lama on Monday began 3-day introductory teaching on Buddhism for Tibetan youth in India's northern Dharamshala town. Hundreds, including Tibetan monks, devotees and over 500 college students from across the world are attending the spiritual discourse being held at Suklakhang Monastery. On Monday, the Dalai Lama delivered a talk and emphasized that the root of compassion and values originated from the Indian masters dated back to 2000 years and the urgency to revive the ancient wisdom in our schools, societies and the world at large.
But it's very important for preserve the Tibetan culture or Tibetan identity, because the Tibetan identity or culture is come from the Buddhism. So to preserve the Buddhism, we have to learn it. It's not just chanting a text or going around for the temple and burning a butter lamp is not important. Important is to learn what the Buddha taught us, to change your mind, to change your mind. That's we have to learn. So that's what the Dalai Lama is telling all the time.
The teaching is currently underway and will conclude on June 7th.
Heatwave conditions have been wreaking havoc over the northern parts of India during the last few days. Residents are taking all precautionary measures to protect themselves from the blistering heat.
Parts of northern India are broiling as heatwave conditions intensify and the mercury refuses to fall below 40 degrees Celsius. Residents in northern Ludhiana city wrapped scarves around their heads and made a beeline at juice shops to keep themselves hydrated as they stepped out into the blistering heat. Though the temperature was registering a steady rise since the beginning of the season, the maximum temperature has suddenly shot up in the past 1 week.
बहुत बेहाल होए पे हैं गर्मी नाल बहुत बुरा हाल है वीरे कॉलेज आउंदा जमा ही दिल नहीं करदा एग्जाम करके आउणा पै रिहा वा बहुत औखा भाई जी बहुत औखा वा.
Meanwhile, Poonch district of northern Jammu and Kashmir province, known for its pleasant weather, also bore the brunt of heat wave. Some residents even put up stalls of cool drinks to be distributed for free among people.
लास्ट ईयर से भी ज़्यादा यहाँ पे, यानी कि ये हिली एरिया है, यहाँ पे इतनी गर्मी नहीं हुआ करती थी, लेकिन लास्ट 1 वीक से इतनी गर्मी ज़्यादा हो रही है और उससे बचने के लिए लोगों ने डिफरेंट जगह पानी के स्टॉल लगाए हुए हैं, अलग अलग जगह से फ्रूट लगा दिए गए हैं.
In northern Allahabad city too, residents expressed that the heat this year was unprecedented as the mercury touched the 40-degree mark. Summers in India are a difficult time when soaring temperatures lead to numerous casualties. According to the Indian Meteorological Department or IMD, over 700 people died in the country last year, which was the warmest year globally.
Scaling the Mount Everest is one of the toughest feats to achieve. Weeks ago, Indian climber Amshujan Shenpa made the fastest double ascent to the world's highest summit. Recently, a group of youngsters from southern India scaled Everest, becoming the first group to reach the summit this climbing season.
A group of 6 youngsters from India's southern Andhra Pradesh province made its people proud by becoming the first group to reach the summit this climbing season. Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting Venkaiah Naidu felicitated the youth, mostly belonging to strained financial background and the farming community. The group underwent rigorous training before moving towards Nepal to climb the world's tallest mountain.
First of all, we started our journey we took 6 months of training, and we started our journey on 8th April for the Mount Everest, and we completed the first batch submitted on May 13th. And one more thing to say is this is the first Indian team in the history of Mount Everest to summit the Everest first.
The expedition team reached Kathmandu on April 9 and the first base camp on April 18.
Particularly a team from Andhra Pradesh, there are about 17 youth and students combined together we have taken, out of which 14 have climbed. This is the first time an Indian team has opened the route from north side to the summit.
This is not the first time that Indian climbers have scripted history. Last month, Anshusam Senpa, a climber from northeast Arunachal Pradesh province, scripted history by becoming the first woman in the world to reach the Mount Everest twice in 5 days.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Death toll from truck bombing in Kabul rises over 150. British police identify London attacker as Pakistani-born British man. And several parts of North India reel under severe heat wave. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.